Alright, first off, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Akakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting the good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly. Shalom to the Aqua, which is the women believer. Shalom unto you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. You know, so we have the signs of heaven. You know, we got the sound of war, and what's coming to the earth is about to be great death. So we in beautiful times, especially if you are in your right mind in the truth and you're able to see the things that's about to happen. The Lord has given us foresight. Prophecy means to say before. And blessed are your eyes for they see, blessed are your ears for they hear. So, you know, all the things that's about to happen and the things that are foretold to happen, it have to happen for us to get in the position that we're supposed to be in. So a lot of death is coming. As you see what's going on over there in our land, the imposters, you know, the Israelis, they just bombed Iran over there in Syria and killed like top 7 officials of Iran. And Iran is thinking about, you know, I'm tired of this shit. It's time to, it's go time. And then you got the solar eclipse coming Monday, and it's a whole bunch of things centered around that. And even if those things do not come to pass, you still got to worry about April 9th and so forth. So usually when Esau see that his plans have been exposed, he usually don't do it on that day, because there's so much information about you know, the solar eclipse. The one thing that I do believe that he is going to do is shoot those rockets at the sun in the name of their god Apollos, which is the Egyptian demon god, which the Egyptian god is the god of chaos. So it's supposed to be it could possibly be a terrorist attack on that day. It could possibly be a bioterrorist attack on that day. It could possibly be the CERN thing. So it's so many things that people don't understand. And if these things do come to pass, that's going to be the beginning of the chaos and confusion. It's something else that I can't remember off the top of my mind. I'm off of 4 hours of sleep, so bear with me. But yeah, so, you know, hopefully these things pop off. Hopefully these things pop off. So I want to start off because what we are in the time of is we are in the time of war. The war to end all wars. And before that actually start being intensified, you have to understand that the mark of the beast got to come before that. And as you see, this dollar is being devalued each day. And so that means that it's right around the corner. And that's the beautiful thing about all of this, is that we're right around the corner. See, we had I think the last solar eclipse before 2017 was back in 1776. No, matter of fact, it's been plenty of solar eclipses since the 1700s and in the 1800s. And every time that there was a solar eclipse, there was always some type of war and some type of civil war. There it go. So yeah, so it could possibly be something, you know, that could happen on that day, like a false flag, you know, those sleeper cells that's over here, all these migrants that's over here, they might actually do something on that day. So it's a lot of things that center around, but at the end of the day, the Lord told us that, you know, before the great and dreadful day of the Lord, you're going to see signs in the heaven. You're going to see blood, fire, pillars of smoke, you know, before the day that he comes. And all of that constitute war, bloodshed. So what's about to happen, so let's get Joel 2:20. Joel 2:20, but I will remove far off from you the northern army We are in the northern western hemisphere. The northern army in this context is talking about America. As it say in Jeremiah 49:20, the least of the flock should draw them out. The only reason why the Israelis are doing this is because they know they got the United States and they got the UK to back them. Because you got to ask yourself, Israel is not that strong of a military. Iran is. Ishmael is. Iran is Elam, the East Indians. And then you have the Arab tribes too. You got Iraq, you got Afghanistan, and you got Saudi Arabia, you got Yemen, you got, it's a lot of Ishmael tribes. And Israel is right in the center of everything. But the only reason why they're doing this is because of prophecy. Now, this should be a faith booster because, as it says in Isaiah 13:2, it said that, this word will reach to the gates of the nobles. The gates of the nobles are the ones who rule this world. You think they don't watch us? So they've been hearing for years that the least of the flock is going to draw them out. Instead of saying, you know what? Hey man, these prophets been saying that the least of the flock is going to draw us out. And that's going to be the end game of us. But no, they just forwarded it. They going head first. So that should be a faith booster. Because instead of them trying to prevent it, the Lord have hardened their heart to fulfill it. And they really think that, even though the elites, they done with America, America did what it needed to do. So they done with this kingdom. They done with this corporation. It's time to move on to the BRICS. That's who the elite invest in right now. All the kings of the earth are in cahoots together. The kings of the earth are not going to be in the war, but the ones that's under them, their military is going to be in the war. So they don't care about stirring up some ruckus. They all going to be in the bunkers. All right, that's in the scriptures. Said that we're going to bind their kings with fetters of iron because they're going to be preserved after the destruction. So, going back, they fulfilling prophecy to a T. So if they fulfilling prophecy and they're not even trying to, stop it. Now, Joe Biden and who else? I can't remember. They said they don't want to go to war, but guess what? Whatever Israel do, United States got to do. They made a pact together. So let's go back to Joel 2:20. It said, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and I will drive him into a land barren." That's that valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, between the Persian Gulf and the Red Sea, which is in the Saudi Arabia desert. And it said, with his face towards the East Sea, all right, that's the Persian Gulf, but it's really talking about Euphrates River dumping off into the Persian Gulf, all right? But the Euphrates River and the Persian Gulf are all one. So it says, into the East Sea and his hinder parts towards the utmost sea, which is the Red Sea, and his stink shall come up, which means that what happens when a dead body is on the ground, it rocks, all right, and it stinks. So the Lord is telling you that when the least of the flock draw them out, they're going to die over there. So it says, and his ill savor should come up because he hath done great things. Because he is the biggest blasphemer on the earth. He do everything contrary to the Lord. This whole system is ran in Satanism. Everything is backwards. That's why this place is called Babylon the Great. And this is where the philosophies have, you went into the four winds of the earth. All the nations try to be like Babylon the Great. So, wickedness is engulfed the earth. The mindsets of the people are infiltrated by Satanism, man. Everything is contrary to the Lord. You got people who go to church every Sunday and think that they actually holy. That's like the biggest joke of a religion right there. Because you eat what you want, you do what you want, and you have no standards. And the main slogan of Christianity is come as you are, the Lord gonna love you. So yeah, that's a big joke. But you got these people out here who really think that they're holy. So matter of fact, now let's jump to Joel 2:27. Because this is the point, man. The point is this. The point is that the Lord is only for Israel. It's all through the scriptures. And see, and this is one of the main reasons why they took out the Apocrypha, because that's the Greek captivity. We lost our way in the Greek captivity. It was a law that if we call ourselves a Jew and keep the customs, that you get put to death, and only a remnant of the people stayed with the customs, and the rest of the nation became Greeks. And what you think happened over those hundreds of years of being Hellenized? They ain't know nothing about being a Jew. So when you see in the New Testament there's no difference between a Jew and a Greek, that's literal. It's no difference between a Jew and a Greek. One keep the customs, one don't keep the customs. One was born in the land, the other Israelites that was born outside of the land, speaking the customs of the heathen, doing the customs of the heathen. All right, speaking the language of the heathen, I mean. So that's why. So, and then, of course, the Apocrypha named names. It tells you who the wicked is. Everybody knew Alexander the Great is, right? And what's his nationality? A so-called white person, right? So they tell you who the wicked is. So that don't make sense. The Lord says he's not the author of confusion. So it said from Alexander the Great and through his generals, wickedness have passed through the earth, have increased in the earth, right? But then now in the New Testament, when who the world ignorantly called Jesus come, now the wicked get it passed. The Lord said he mad with the wicked every day. That's in Psalm 7 and 11. So, you know, people err not knowing the scriptures, but the thing is that we never been taught prophecy, especially if you go to church. You never been taught prophecy. You don't know nothing about prophecy. All right? Church been teaching you your whole life to rebel and to have fun and to chase the bag, because your pastor is robbing you, all right? And you looking at him like a man of the Lord because the Lord has blessed him, and he really didn't bless him. He just robbed you. And you looking at it like, okay, this is the way that you're supposed to be. But that's not the case, you know? So that's not the case. It's because he pimped you and he got you to believe that the Lord dealing with prosperity. So give me all your money, all right? And while you go back to the hood and can barely pay your bills, but your pastor riding nice. But you look at him like, yeah, that's a man of the God right there. Look at the way he dressed, look what he had. But he got what he had off of you. That's not a real shepherd, okay? So, Joel 2 and 27. It says, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh your power, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. The reason why the Lord even had to say that is because he knew, because he predestinate everything. He knew that we was going to lose our heritage. These nations was going to take our heritage and then assimilate into our culture. And also, the Roman Catholic Church created a doctrine that all nations can make it. Why? Because he's trying to save himself. So that's what people don't get. The Roman Catholic Church was created to cause confusion in the world. A man named Harold Rosenthal, all right, which is a small hatter, he said that he created Christianity for that. He literally created Christianity for that. I'm going to do a video on that quote one of these days, Lord willing. I can't remember that quote right now at the top of my head, but basically he said that we are fools for believing in Christianity, all right? That literally is a religion that was made up. But man, it got a hold of our people. So he said, my people should never be ashamed. Another reason why too, because as a man like me and many other brothers are out here that make their body a living sacrifice, which is their reasonable service, people look at us like we the bad guys because we speak the truth. That's why Paul said what he said. Galatians 4 and 16, have I became your enemy because I tell you the truth. So the world try to make us feel, you know, ashamed for the truth. Listen, the Lord is only dealing with Israel, but here's the thing. He's only dealing with the elect of Israel right now. He ain't even dealing with all of Israel. So he just going to cast away his people and then bring in the heathen. And you got false prophets teaching that, who call themselves Hebrew Israelites. So he's in the midst of Israel and none else, and we should never be ashamed. Verse 28, and it shall come to pass that afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. This is the reason why Esau have been made bare. You also got Psalm 64 and 8. He should make their tongues fall upon himself. You got a lot of ex-military people, a lot of people who was down with the get down, you know what I'm talking about, people that was in the industry, everybody speaking out. Everybody's speaking out. Everybody is going into the history of this devil, how he even got everything. He took everything. All right, he had made Esau bare. He cannot hide himself. Jeremiah 49:10. So, you know, he poured the spirit upon all flesh. Everybody prophesying, even though only the prophets can go through the scriptures, but you still have people who don't know the scriptures, and still it's more bright than people who don't even pick up the Bible. You know what I'm saying? He's, matter of fact, the people that the Lord have poured the spirit upon, I'm talking about like these so-called Edomites, because they could be Jakes. That's why you got to say it that way. But these people, like these alternative news stations, they know more than you Christians. And y'all in the Bible, so-called every Sunday. You know? They don't go in the scriptures, but they bring out good information, and we tie it to the scriptures. So we all work in tandem. We all work in tandem. That's how the Lord do things. That's why you can't be proud, because you can go watch a man who don't know nothing about the Hebrew Israelite or know anything about the scriptures, but he'll bring out some dynamite information that we ain't even know about. You know? So the Lord have poured out his spirit upon all flesh. So everybody's prophesying against this devil. And it said, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old man shall dream dreams, and your young man shall see visions. So it's a lot of people who have end time dreams. And then guess what? Even though these people are not going into the scriptures, and we the ones that go into the scriptures, because we prophets, guess what's happening? They're still prophesying. All right? They just don't know that the things that they're talking about are in the scriptures. So that's why the Lord have poured upon his spirit upon all flesh, because he said that everything is secret should be made manifest, and everything that is hid should come out abroad. So everybody, for the most part, got their eye on this devil, and how much more he's going to continue to be revealed. That's why he wanted to do away with the internet. That's why he tried to censor free speech. You know? And all of it is to get us off the street. We are the only threat. Nobody else is a threat. You can create a military. You don't have bombs. You don't have direct energy weapons. You're going to run out of bullets eventually. All right? Back in the term of Barack Obama, the military bought like billions upon billions of ammunition, ready for this day. All right? You can have a 100-round drum, which is a lot of bullets, but guess what? After that 100 bullet is done, you done. All right? They still shooting. They got weapons that you can't even fathom. And then when you go look into their weaponry, the stuff that we've seen over the years, like these robots, these robot dogs, these drones, you don't got none of that stuff. So the only thing that can take this man down is the chanting of this word, as it says in 2 Thessalonians 2:8. I will destroy you, I will consume you with the spirit of my mouth, that's through the prophets, then I will destroy you with the brightness of my coming. All right, so the Lord is going to speak before he come and do damage. And that's why the world, in the world of Israel, is without excuse. Because we all over the internet, in the chief place of concourse, all over Babylon the Great, and guess what? This word been going out for a long time. For a long time. And at least been going out worldwide for 17 years. Started back in 2007, so that's a long time. That's 2 decades and a half. I mean, 1 decade and a half. So it says, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days I will pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire, pillars of smoke. So what follows the signs of heaven? Blood, fire, and pillars of smoke. That's what follows the signs of heaven. That's just all the things that's been prophesied what could possibly happen on Monday. So it don't matter if something don't happen on Monday. You have to still worry about April 9th and on. Because that sign is a sign, and they said that the next one is going to be 200 years from now. So you know that this is significant when they say that the next one going to be 200 years, because this is going to be the last one. We ain't going to be here for another 200 years. Okay? So, signs in the heaven, man. And it's about to get real dark out here. Morally, it's already dark. It's going to get more morally dark. It's already evil out here, as the scripture says that since iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That's already happening. How much more in the times to come? The scriptures talks about friends fighting each other like enemies. Ain't gonna be no friends really soon because of great tribulation and lack of bread. So it says the sun and shall be turned into darkness. That's the full solar eclipse, and the moon into blood, which is symbolic. It's gonna be a lot of bloodshed that's coming to the earth, man. And we've been telling you for a long time. We've been telling you for a long time. It's a beautiful time to be alive, be in your right mind. So it said, and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of Yahweh Bashar. So this is a sign before the great and terrible day of the Lord. So, like I said, if something don't happen on Monday, then it don't matter. Something's still gonna happen. That's just a sign. You can't take away the sign of heaven. You can't take away. When it happens, it happens. I believe that something might happen because it's a perfect scenario for it to happen. Because they estimate, because you know Esau has to say in Ezekiel 28, is it raining or something? As he said in Ezekiel 28, it said that he searched out everything. It's nothing that you can hide from him. He's wiser than Daniel, right? So he estimated that it's going to be as many people that's going to watch the solar eclipse. It's going to be like 50 Super Bowls. Millions of people watch the Super Bowl. All right? So estimated at least 50 million people watching the solar eclipse. That's a perfect time to do a bioterrorism test. Oh, there it go. It said so they got a jet that's going to be dropping these invisible bacteria particles, you know, like 30 minutes before the solar eclipse, anywhere from 2 hours to 30 minutes before the solar eclipse, which is perfect because you're still in the house at that time. And by the time that you look up to see it, all of that shit falling on your face. They've been practicing on some type of zombie event too. So you got to look at the Khan Plan 8888. Because the people who took the juicy juice, you know, you got some stuff inside you. I've been calling y'all ticking time bombs since y'all got it. You know? So guess what? Who knows what can happen? They turn some frequency up and you out here looking like the Walker Dead. What is that show called? The Walker the Dead? Anyway, that damn show, that zombie show. I don't even watch the stuff. That's why I don't know the name. So it says, now and here's another point. Now you gotta understand, Joel 2 is a future prophecy. This haven't even came to pass yet. When you read like the first 11 verses of Joel 2, it's talking about the missiles hitting this place. That haven't happened yet. All right. Then when you jump from 20, you know, removing the army, the northern army, over there to a land that's barren and desolate, that's happening right now. And then on down, all right, all of this is in action. So Joel 2 ain't even come to pass yet. The first half of Joel 3 came to pass. That's talking about the transatlantic slave trade. And then at the end of that, it talks about the weak nature saying that I'm strong. You know, all of this is in play right now. So you still got some people talking about, oh, that's the Old Testament, but guess what? Most of the Old Testament hasn't even came to pass yet. And the New Testament is the reiterating of the Old. The apostles, you gotta understand, when the apostles on the scene, the New Testament was being written. They was quoting the Old Testament. Okay? So these things are in play or haven't came to pass yet. So verse 32, Joel 2 and 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name, which is very important, Acts 4 and 12, there is only one name given among men under heaven where a man can be saved. All right? Whosoever call on the name shall of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, shall be delivered, for in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be delivered. This, it said whosoever call on the name, right? Whosoever, right? Because like people always like to, you know, focus on the whosoever part. But the Lord made it, he basically gave you more detail of the whosoever. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, which talk about the southern and northern kingdom. All right? For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as Yahweh have said, in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. In the remnant, like I said, the Lord is only dealing with the remnant right now. So we are in beautiful times. I can't wait to see these people's faces, man. But like I said, if I had a cameraman and I panned this camera around, you got people talking shit under their breath. You got people, you know, scoffing under their breath, making faces. I can't see what goes on behind me, you know. But yeah, I can't wait to see the look on these people's faces. Because why? The Lord prophesied through Luke. He said that, also in Matthew, but I like the Luke one better. But yeah, people eating, drinking, and being merry. So if you eating, drinking, and being merry, your mind and your heart is in a state of mirth. And the Lord said that it's a wise man's heart is in the house of mourning, but a fool's heart is in the house of mirth. So you're a fool. And what they say about what a fool believe that there is no God. Because you got people who profess with their mouth, but they really don't believe in the Lord. Because if they did, they wouldn't be acting the way that they act. See, people made the Lord as a fairy tale. That's why people say, "Oh, I choose to believe in God," or "I pick to believe in God." No, the Lord said He choose you. That's in John 15 and 16. And also, when you go to Zephaniah 1 and 12, it talks about how, you know, people are settled on their leaves. It's saying that the Lord will not do good or will do evil. That's why they say only God can judge me, because they don't believe that God will judge me. And I wouldn't believe it too if I was still in Christianity, because I've been told my whole life that God is all love, and that's not true. You see the total opposite. That would make a person not believe. I understand why people don't believe, because I was one day in that cult. I was in that cult at one point in time. You know, so. Yeah, I believe at one point in time God was all love. I believe that God was white. All of that. You know? So, now, let's get into what Yahushua said. It's kind of cold out here. It's colder than I thought. Should have wore some gloves. So Luke 21:25 said, there should be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, upon the earth, the stress of nations with perplexity. So these signs are followed by perplexity, the stress of nations. That's civil war right there, as it says in Isaiah 19:2. All right, the Egyptians versus the Egyptians, which is AKA Americans versus Americans. Then you got the movie coming out this month called Civil War. You just had a movie that came out, what, December of last year, which wasn't that long ago. The end of the so-called last year. All right. What is called? Dang. What's the movie called? I can't remember what the movie called, man. Dang. Anyways, but yeah, so that movie that just came out, you know, when you had planes falling out the sky, you had people that the sun, his teeth was falling out because they was turning up frequencies and stuff like that. He was bugging out, you know. The bridge collapsed at the end of the movie. Man, it's something. Left the world behind or something like that. Leave the world behind. That movie, okay. And then now you got the Civil War. The bridge collapsed. Do you understand that? The bridge collapsing at the end of that movie. What happened? The bridge collapsed, right? So now you got the movie Civil War, which means that's going to happen, man. And the Lord is the one that's sealing their instructions. While there's a slumber upon their bed, the Lord sealed their instructions. That's in Job 33. So the Lord is the one that's giving them the ideas to make these movies, also to warn us, you know? So these are not movies for entertainment. This is how they converse with each other. All right? It's called Revelation of the Method. So it said, distresses of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. The seas represent the peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. Also, they talking about 10-foot waves and things like that. So yeah, literally, waves is going to be roaring. The people going to be roaring because they're going to be in a war cry. It's going to be a shout of a war cry on this land. All right? A lot of people are going to die, man. It's all through the scriptures. All through the scriptures. So this is not a game, you know? But people going to continue to keep playing until this place is desolate. Until this place is desolate and on fire. So with all the destruction that's coming, it said man's heart fell in them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So the scriptures talks about in the fullness of his sufficiency, he should be in straits. Every hand of the wicked should be upon him. So that's talking about the elites thinking that they're about, you know, yes, we finally did it. We finally got our NWO. The Lord said that's where you're going to be in straits. All right, the powers of heaven going to be shaken. Because the ruler's going to realize that, dang, everything that I imagined, the way that I had everything planned, it's not going my way. So, it's good, man. I'm telling you, I just really hope that something happened, man. I really hope something happened Monday. For people, if I can see people's faces, it's real personal for me. It's personal for me because I came across a lot of people who talk S-H-I-T when it comes to the scriptures. Even people that I'm around all the time. They think it's a joke, or they listen, but then it don't remain with them, because of course the Lord don't want them to get it. But I can't wait to see people's faces, and I know all of us believers can't wait to see people's faces that you have told, but they made light of what you was telling them, you know. But definitely, you know, these Edomites faces, you know, and 2/3 faces. I don't even care about the rest of the heathen, to be honest. I only care about, you know, seeing Esau face and 2/3 faces. All right, which is the main character of the story, Jacob and Esau. You know, all the other nations, they gonna get it. But I really can't wait to see 2/3 faces and Esau's face, because they whole world, because they love Babylon the Great more than anybody else. This is the place of your captivity, but our people love it. Esau said, this is our land, even though they stole it. So they the ones that actually talking about fighting, taking our city back, taking our land back. That's going to cause a civil war. All right? And it's in the scriptures. The Lord is the one that's going to put it in their spirit to do these things. Because remember, the scripture says that a man's goings is of the Lord. How then can man understand his own way? So it said, verse 27, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So all these things is going to follow salvation. That's why we want these things to happen. The quicker it happens, the quicker we can get up out of here. No matter if you're going to be a martyr or you're going to live to the end. If you are part of the elect, you're in good hands. And not the Allstate commercial. Alright? It's really got cold out here. It wasn't that cold when I came. But because Yahushua, you know, when it says at the end of verse 25, it says that the sea and the waves roaring. That's talking about World War III, man. That's talking about civil war. The reason that, as the scripture said, it's going to be a time that have never been before. It's been wars before, right? It's been famines before, right? It's been cannibalism before, right? It's been diseases and pestilences before, right? But not all at the same time. That's what's going to make this day really dreadful. World War III going to be happening at the same time that America having a civil war. You're going to have civil war in all the countries. all over there in Europe. You can read that account of 2 Ezra 16. It said an insurrection in every place. Every place. So yeah, it's going to be civil war everywhere. On top of World War III. On top of Yahweh shall returning in the midst, shooting fire on people, zapping them to dust. The Lord got the real direct energy weapons that's going to shoot out the chariots, man. So these are the times that we are in. So Isaiah 17:12, it said, woe to the multitude of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. So when it said, when the seas and the waves roaring, that's talking about World War III. That's talking about nations fighting each other, talking about civil war, all right? It's talking about war, baby. War. And while war is heating up, the MOTB is heating up. The infrastructure already in place, it's been in place for a while. Why do you think they started talking so heavy about it when the pandemic started? Talk about we are able to hack humans. And saying it pridefully, right? So yeah, man, we are in that time. This is going to happen in our lifetime, because the Lord said, when the same way that you know that summer is about to come, because the leaves put forth leaves, the trees put forth leaves, the same way that you know that I'm on my way, because you're going to be able to tell that these prophecies that I told you before is coming to pass, man. It's coming to pass. And I love coming out here because, number one, this is something that the Lord delight in. And number two, when I look at people's faces, man, I realize that I could be just like them. And guess what? Everybody that's in the truth today, you was just like them. You didn't know. So they got something called ignorance is bliss. If ignorance is bliss, that means that it's exciting. It's exciting to be like that. They love to be ignorant, because when you're ignorant, that means that you don't have to stand for nothing. You don't have to have a standard. You can just say you don't know. But saying that you don't know ain't going to get you no mercy. All right? You're just going to be caught up in the midst of the destruction. So, Isaiah 17:13, it said, the nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but the Most High shall rebuke them. See, this is when Yahweh shall come back. And they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. So the Lord is going to make easy work of these nations. You get that account of 2 Ezra 13. All right? So when the Lord comes back, he's not coming back handing out flowers, showing his pearly white smiling, saying, come my people. He's coming back to do damage. Right? The Lord said he come to send a sword on the earth. He ain't coming to send peace on the earth. Peace will happen when the kingdom starts. But destruction got to come before the kingdom starts. All right? And it says, and I think we got a agent, you know what I'm saying? Agents always out here, but all we do is preach the word, so get this word. All right? So, and it says, this is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. All right? Because guess what? All these nations had us in captivity at one point in time. So the Lord is coming to do damage on the nations for touching the apple of his eye. And when Jacob's trouble comes, that's another time where the nations is going to be able to put their hands on Jacob. Because you got to understand, you got the UN peacekeepers, you got the sleeper cells. It's 24 nations in the UN peacekeepers, and majority of them are heathen nations. Now you got migrants coming over here, which is our people. But we always had sellouts in our people. We always had sellouts who, you know, did things against our people. So they gonna be getting down too, you know? So, and a lot of them is over here just because some of them is gonna be getting saved. The reason that the Lord allowed America to be infiltrated by all these migrants, because you're gonna be saved or destroyed. Because this is the place of great deliverance and destruction. Okay? So when these things start to happen, you can't say you didn't know, because the prophet's been going in for a while, especially since the pandemic, because the Lord have intensified his prophecies. He intensified his prophecies. So the men of the Lord speak on them. You can't say you didn't know. And the Lord showed you, because when he shut down the world since 2020, he been showing you that he on his way back. The world have not been the same since then. A lot of businesses haven't bounced back. A lot of people haven't bounced back, and people have been struggling since then. All right. As the scripture says, the haughty people of the earth languish. All right. So there's a lot of languishing going on. It's a lot of perplexity going on, and it's going to continue to intensify. It's going to continue to increase.
It's like a hard thing because it's so.
It said, and behold, at evening to trouble, and before the morning he is not. Evening to. So what is after the evening? All right. Evening is what we in right now. Evening is what we in right now. As we get later in prophecy, it's going to be midnight. What comes after midnight? The morning. The morning, that's when we can rejoice. Midnight is when the missiles going to drop. All right? Evening is leading up to the process, which is the process we are in right now. So it says, and behold, at evening tide, trouble, and before the morning he is not. See, before the morning he is not. What's before the morning? Midnight. Destruction going to come upon him at midnight. And we are headed into midnight, baby. That's why they got a doomsday clock. And they keep it, first it be 1 minute away, then they put it back, then it gets back 30 seconds away, then they pull it back. So yeah, that doomsday clock is about to strike 12. And it said, this is the portion of them that spoil us, and a lot of them that rob us. All right? So all the ones who put us in captivity, you're going to go in captivity. All right, the Lord is fair. I just made a video, a couple weeks ago, talking about the fairness of the Lord. I think it was a couple weeks ago. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was days ago. But the point is that you can't say the Lord ain't fair, man. All nations had a chance to rule. All nations ruled over his own children. What made your kingdom great is the being over the Israelites. Because Jacob is the former of all things. Jacob is the salt of the earth. If you took Israelites off the earth, this earth will be bland as hell. It'd be like chicken with no salt. Check my battery. So while America is sealing their fate, the hell? While America is sealing their fate, man, you know, we gotta build up in the spirit, because we are coming across serious and dangerous times. If you're not building your faith up, as it said in 2 Esdras 14 and 13, set your house in order, your house is you, and comfort them that be like you, talk about the sheep, then yeah, you ain't gonna make it, man. Because when all hell breaks loose, you have to know that wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our times, all right? And the strength of salvation in the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is his treasure. Because see, the fear is very important, because the fear is going to keep you from doing certain things, like taking the MOTB, bowing down to this system, all right? Because you will rather fall into the hands of the Lord, because he's merciful. Fall into the hands of the devil, he's not merciful. And also the scripture said, never trust your enemies. Matter of fact, in 2 Esdras 16 and 69, it said, they that consent unto him shall be mocked and had in derision, and shall be trodden down underfoot. So if you do consent unto him, he's going to mock you, because guess what? I thought you was an Israelite, huh? I thought you knew about the truth. I thought you was going to stand up for the Lord, right? He's going to be mocking you, and then he's still going to kill you. Never trust your enemy. That's what the scripture says, and that's what I said. It said you're going to be mocked, had in derision, and trodden underfoot. So yeah, Joel 3 and 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, baby. So the thing is that this sign of heaven is just a man. The sign of heaven, right? I want people to understand this. Because if you are a person who watches the men of the Lord, a lot of people been going in about the signs of heaven. But you're supposed to look at it as a sign of heaven. A sign that have to happen before the Lord comes. So if all the things that I mentioned that center around what's going to so-called happen Monday, if it don't happen, don't get discouraged, because it's still a sign. The only time that you should be discouraged if a solar eclipse don't come, but that is going to come. So that's the sign of heaven, okay? So nothing is going to get better. Everything is going to get worse, okay? And especially from that day on forward. Before the solar eclipse, everything was getting worse and getting worse. So you think that sign of heaven thing is going to smooth out and everything will go back to how it used to be? No. Things is about to increase. So verse 10, Joel 3 and 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks and into spears, and let the weak say I'm strong. So take those agriculture tools and bend it and mold it into weapons. All right? So, the Lord, he's stirring up the minds of these kings to prepare them for battle. That's why the Lord said, wait upon me until I rise up to the prey. We don't have to take matters into our own hands. The Lord got us. Matter of fact, in Psalms 46 and 9, it said, be still, I will be exalted among the heathen. Okay? What you think be still is? There's nothing deep about that. It's literal. Make not haste in the time of trouble. The Lord is going to provide for us, man. He's going to provide for us. Because all these things that came to pass and that's coming to pass, you think he's about to lie? You think he's about to lie now? All these things that came to pass and coming to pass. So the curses came upon us. Can't deny that. World War III is approaching us. Can't deny that. So blessings and deliverance, and the Lord said, if you trust in me, we're gonna be okay. That got to come to pass too. The Lord said that he's not a man that he should lie, nor a man that should repent. The Lord first of all, the Lord don't have to lie. Ain't nobody gonna judge him. He the judge. Okay? He ain't scared. He ain't scared of you. All right? He don't care what you think of him. The Lord do what he won't. We are the creatures made subjected to vanity, not willingly. Okay? And that goes for everybody. Nobody had to say so when they was born, how they gonna look, what parents you gonna come into. You know what I'm saying? Who you gonna be, what you gonna be. None of us. So the Lord controls man. And he's controlling man into our favor. He's about to have these nations blow each other to smithereens. Okay? So verse 11, assemble yourselves and come all you heathen and gather yourself together round about hither, cause your mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So before he physically judged them, he's gonna put the spirit on the heathen to judge themselves. Okay? By killing each other. That is one of the judgments of the Lord. So the Lord is going to sit on that mountain, having the spirits, basically having the angels work on the minds of these men to blow each other to smithereens. And then when the remnant that's left, get that count of 2 Esdras 13, they were scared, but they durst fight. The remnant that's left of those nations is going to fight against the Lord, and the Lord is going to make easy work of them. So he's going to put the spirit on these nations to blow each other to smithereens, and then the Lord is going to sweep up the rest. And all in this time, we're going to be delivered. Because we have to be delivered between the 6th and the 7th trumpet, because the 7th trumpet is the missiles being shot off and hitting this place. So we have to be, we will be in a chariot. We might actually be able to see Yahushua, you know, getting down. We might actually be in a chariot because remember, it said he cometh with clouds. Every eye shall see him. Revelation 1:7. Matter of fact, let me see. I think it said coming with clouds, like plural. I want to make a point real quick. Yep, behold, he coming with clouds. So yeah. So Revelation 1:7, he coming with clouds. So who's to say that, you know, we might be in another chariot while he getting down? We could possibly be dropped off in the wilderness and then he go get down. Because we got to go to the wilderness again. That's in Ezekiel 20. You know? And then he going to plead with all flesh. You know? The Lord said he's going to plead with all flesh by fire. And that is those those direct energy weapons from the chariots. So this is just me. Basically what I'm saying is this. All of this is speculation. Because even though we know the prophecies, we can't tell you how it's going to look. We can't tell you like, all right, here's what's going to happen, right? So right before the missiles drop, the Lord is going to beam us up. Like basically like 60 seconds before it happens. Now that's a good possibility because you want to know why? The Lord said that the righteous should scarcely be saved. And now that I'm thinking about it, that could be the best possible way because guess what? The missiles got to be shot because the Lord cannot destroy them before that. Who's going to shoot the missiles, right? So, if he do, say, all right, they shoot the missiles, Yahushua come. As soon as they shoot it, because it's going to take about 30 minutes to get over here. Yahushua come, make easy work of them, and then at that same time before the missiles come, beam us up. See? All of this is just speculation. All of this is speculation. Because the scripture says the thing that is in, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Here it goes. 1 Corinthians 13:10. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. So, but when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. So right now we know in part. Because we can't tell you what everything's going to be. But in that time, we going to know because we going to be right there. All right? So read 12 again, Joel 3:12, it said, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put you in a sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, the fat overflow, for the wickedness is great. Which means that it's ripe for the taking. Right? At this time, everything is ripe for the taking. The Lord is going to put that sickle, which the sickle is the harvest. The harvest is death. For the people that's slated to be destroyed. Because everybody ain't gonna die. We wouldn't have no slaves. That's why when you read Ezekiel 39, it talks about how he sent out the sixth part of the army. All of Gog and Magog ain't gonna die, but the army of Gog and Magog is going to die. But Russia is a mass place with a lot of people. Every Russian ain't gonna die in the war, but the army is. Every Iranian ain't gonna die in the war, but the army is. Okay. Every Ethiopian that's in the war, you know, the people that's in the army gonna die, but not the people in Ethiopia. Kush, you know. So yeah, Northern Africa, which is they took over those lands. That's Ishmael right there. You got Libya. You got Algeria, Egypt. So yeah, the armies of those nations is going to die, but not the people. They're going to be the ones that's building up our kingdom, man. So it says 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened. See, the Lord dealing with the signs of heaven. The Lord is dealing with the signs. And when you see these signs of heaven, that's when you're supposed to be like, oh shoot, the Lord on his way back. All right, you're gonna see a blood moon. Now that blood moon is very important because every time you see a blood moon, it's always associated with death. It said the sun being darkened, the moon turning to blood, and then it goes into earth, it goes into fire, smoke, and death, you know. So it says, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Because in that day, the truth is going to be barren in the land. And there ain't going to be no prophets out here telling you what's going on, what to do, what not to do. All right? The sun and the moon represents the knowledge and wisdom. That's going to be barren in the land. All right, at that time, people are going to be looking to and fro, trying to find out what's going on, trying to hear the word. That's in Amos 8, 11, and 12. Famine of the word going to come. People from the east, west, north, and south is going to be trying to inquire the word of the Lord. That's why you're supposed to get it, as it says in Isaiah 55 and 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Yahweh also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake, but Yahweh will be the hope of his people and the strength of children of Israel. Okay? So you got to understand, all in this time, you got the resurrection. Okay? You're going to have people coming out the graves. You're going to have people being resurrected unto everlasting life, some to condemnation. So it's a lot of stuff that got to transpire. A lot of stuff is going to happen. Like, you're gonna see some miracles out here. Remember, we still got the same power that the apostles got. We have to get. It's nothing new under the sun. We're gonna be able to heal people in these times. You know, the ones who's supposed to be healed. You know, who the Lord wants to be healed. So it's a lot of things gotta happen. You still got King David coming back, which is King Mashal. I still believe that High Priest Ariel is going to come back, because that's in Zechariah 3. So yeah, it's a lot of things. It's going, man, we're in a hell of a time, man. For those who have understanding, you know, those who got the eyes to see the Lord, the ones who the Lord blessed. Checking my battery. So yeah, man, so the things that's about to transpire on the earth, man, like these sci-fi movies that you see, that's about to come to earth. It ain't gonna be no CGI, no computer generated imagery. Alright? You about to see real life. You about to see some real spiritual power out here. You see how you see the like the Marvel comics, you know, the Fantastic Four and X-Men and the Superman and all of them. I'm not really a comic book guy, but you know, hopefully I was naming them right. But yeah. So all these people that got these superpowers in the movies, like the Incredible Hulk, you're going to see that, man. Men of the Lord is going to get that. The Lord said he's going to make the creature his weapon. What do you think that means? The Lord said he's going to set a standard for us. What you think that means? So, yeah, you're going to see some things. Verse 17, so shall you know that I am Yahweh, your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy. There shall no strangers pass through her anymore. But wait a minute. I thought the kingdom in heaven was for everybody. So the Lord said, listen, after this destruction, I'm going to bring you to the land. You're going to be in the land. Of course, the nation's going to be there. But as servants, they're not about to be setting up shop. They're not about to have houses in our land. All right? So if no stranger's going to pass through there no more, that means that the kingdom of heaven is not for the heathen. Matter of fact, Daniel's 2 and 44, it said that it should not be left to other people. The kingdom that he's going to set up should not be left to other people. So all you people out there, especially you false prophets out there who's bugged the hell out, don't even recognize that you got a demon on you. That's why this truth is scary. You know, talking about the heathen can make it, And then here's the thing that pissed me off about scoffers, right? Not scoffers, false prophets. When you was in the truth, you wasn't diligent at all. You could go weeks, sometimes months without doing a video. And now, Satan got you, and now you on fire. And all of your videos is talking about heathen, making it. Like that's your whole ministry. So that's how you know that, you know, the evil spirit is on him. He don't recognize that. I'm talking about a specific person. Zion, that's what I'm talking about from Boston. All right? Wasn't on fire when he was in the truth. Now he on fire, like basically like every 2 days, it's some videos, and it's multiple videos a day. 50 minutes long. Yeah, I'm watching. I ain't watching the videos, but I'm watching, you know, when you upload, you know. But he on fire right now. He wasn't on fire when he was in the truth. Going in, so man, really. Like the videos that I do watch, I know, because he don't put his face on the camera. I know spit flying out his mouth. He really mad. Going in for the heathen, you know? Trying to rebuke the real men of the Lord. Talk about like how we Satan and stuff. Like, I'm telling you, man, the truth is scary. The truth is scary. That's why I just uploaded a video talking about, you know, don't get too comfortable. You can still fall out. And the Passover just passed, so we in that time. It's not no game. You gotta stay humble, man. Don't get beside yourself. So it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters, and the fountains shall come forth of the house of Yahweh, and shall water the valley of Shittim, which means that it's going to be a new heaven and a new earth, a new way of life. We're going to have new bodies. We're going to see things that we never seen before. Because you got to understand, the earth is in its worst, the foul state. So the Lord is about to refresh everything and bring us into a better state. And the earth, like, and here's the thing too. The thing is this. Can you imagine all the things that the Lord have hid from us, man? That new wine that the Lord said that he ain't gonna drink until he drink with us in the kingdom. Lord willing, I'm a part of that, you know? But yeah, man, so it's like, I think about like lands that we haven't seen, you know? Like, it's gonna be beautiful, man. I just can't wait. But we gotta wait. The Lord is not going to jump cut his movie. All the parts gonna come to pass. All right. Put my battery one more time. All right. About that time too. So and it's saying it shall come to pass. Oh, I already read that. Dude, I cannot feel my thumb. Revelation 6:13. And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a strong wind, of a mighty wind. The stars of heaven talk about these nuclear warheads. And it says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it rolled together, and every mountain and island was moved out of their place. So that mushroom cloud, which is another reason why the sun and the moon is going to be dark. Because like when you see like old videos when they test like the atomic bomb, that big mushroom cloud, you know, covered the whole sky. And that's going to cause the sun and the moon to be dark. 2. Outside of the knowledge and wisdom is going to be barren in the land in that day. And the kings of the earth and great men and rich men and chief captains and mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid himself in the dens and the rocks and the mountains. Them are the caves. Like I said, probably like a half an hour ago, those are the ones that's going to be reserved to go into captivity. Now you see it said it had bondman and free man. You think they don't got servants down there? All these children that be going missing and all these people that be going missing every year, You think they that's where they at, most likely. Some of them be sacrificed, you know. But for the most part, yeah. So all these people that's underground and they deep underground military bases, they got cities under there, all of that. When you go to Amos 9, and also in the rest of this chapter that I'm going to finish to read, it talks about we're going to grab them out of the holes of the rock. All right? And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. And it said, for that day, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Only the elect. All right? So, you know, beautiful time to be alive. Let's see what's going to happen Monday, man. You know? So, solar eclipse, which is a sign of heaven. You see what just happened a few days ago about the, now World War III is being intensified right before the solar eclipse, man. Come on, man, we got to get hyped. So all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. And Abba, Baba, and Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.